Hi, good afternoon. My name is Michelle, and how may I address you?
Cindy.
Okay, hi, Lee. Is this your first time coming to a counseling section?
Yes.
Yes. So I'll just brief you on some important points. So the purpose of this counseling session is to come together to discuss about your problems, and I'll give you some suggestions or advices to your problem, to all your issues. Next will be the duration of the counseling session. For today, it will be last about 1 hour, and for the estimated cost will be for today's session is $200. However, if you face any difficulties in financial assistance, we offer subsidized or any type of scheme that helps you to reduce your financial burden. So next will be the confidentiality. I'll assure you that what we share about the information will be kept within these 4 walls and will not be shared to anyone else. However, if you would do harm to yourself or to others, I will need to inform the relevant authorities. So now we'll be moving on to our counseling session. So what's the issue that you currently face?
So I'm a foreigner from China and I came to Singapore to work, and now I'm currently facing stress in my work because I cannot adapt to the environment.
Could you elaborate the reason that you came to Singapore to work?
Because I have to, in China, my China job, I don't have enough income to support my family. So thinking of like Singapore with higher standard of living, I think that coming here will allow me to earn more money to support myself and my family members.
So when did you first came to work in Singapore?
Around 10 years ago.
Wow, it must be amazing that you came to a foreign country alone, and this shows that you are a very strong and independent woman and you want to support your family. If I were in your position, I may not be able to come to a foreign country alone and independently. So what are the challenges that you may face during your work?
So as what I mentioned, Singapore has a higher standard of living. So in Singapore compared to China, it's more competitive, and with the advancement of technology, I cannot really adapt to the environment because I may need to use equipment with the technology which I don't often use it in China.
Could you tell me more about these challenges in the work that you face?
When using equipment like computers, I may not really get used to it. I may have difficulties in sending emails or this to clients maybe. Something.
So how do you feel about these challenges that you met during your work?
I feel stressed because I cannot manage, and sometimes very frustrated because I don't know how the system goes like. And in China we don't use this frequently.
So is it the same as your China workplace, like Singapore, or is there any difference that you may have?
In China, technology is not really very involved in our workplace, like how we work. We don't use technology that frequent.
It's normal to feel this way because it's a foreign country and you may not be able to adapt these challenges. Yeah. So do you have any changes that affect your performance at work?
Yes.
So how does it affect your performance at work? Like those challenges that affect your work, like for China and Singapore, the changes, how it affects your performance?
Yeah, maybe China is not really very competitive, you know, a big country, and you know some of the job doesn't really need that much of a requirement. Like for example, you know, from the top management, they may have higher expectation, your boss, all this. Then when your workload increase, then you will think that it's very stressful in Singapore. Yeah.
So it seems to me that you are very stressed in terms of the challenges that you face in Singapore, and you are not able to adapt quickly to the working environment because Singapore seems to be a competitive country than your own country. So is there other issues that you want to talk about?
Yeah, actually not only to adapt to the environment, but also communication barrier. Because I came from China, and I can say that my only language would be the only language that I know would be Mandarin. Then in Singapore, a multi-society, I was not able to communicate to others, you know, easily with using other language like English, because I'm not very good at English.
So could you elaborate more how these language barriers that you face affects your work progress in your company?
When I have any questions I want to ask my colleagues, then they cannot understand what I want to ask them about. Then they will tend to, you know, refer me to other person instead of talking to me like face to face.
So how do you feel about these challenges that you face with this language barrier?
I feel very stressed because cannot communicate with other people is quite a challenging things to do.
I mean, it's a normal way to feel because you came from a foreign country then to Singapore and your language is only Chinese. You only have a basic of English, so you might not know the advanced language. So it's normal for you to feel this way. Yes, and how would you like it to be different?
Maybe I can learn other language, try to learn other language to communicate with them, like, you know, not only learning English but also Malay and Indian language, all these to, you know, communicate with them well, and then think that I'm capable of talking to them. Yeah.
So it seems to me that your language barrier is also one of your issues that you're facing during your work progress, and you're very frustrated because you are not able to communicate fully with your work colleagues or maybe your clients in future. So in summarize, I've identified that you have two issues that you have faced. So one of the issue which is come to Singapore alone and stress about the work, you have to support your family, and another issue is that the language barrier you face in Singapore, and it's very stressed about it as well. So which of the main topic you would like to focus on?
Focusing on how to manage to adapt to the environment.
Okay, thank you.